Hi there, welcome to Seasons Change. My name is Louann. Well, if you're not currently storing baking soda in your preps, you may want to stick around for today's video because I'm going to be sharing with you 30 practical uses for baking soda and why I feel it's important to have it in my preps. Well, thanks for stopping by today. And like I said, if you're not currently storing baking soda in your preps, you might want to stick around for these 30 practical uses that I'm about to share with you. And I'm also going to share with you 5 reasons why I keep baking soda in my preps. Now, the first reason why I feel it's important to have baking soda in my preps is the obvious, because it has so many practical uses. I'm only going to list 30 of them for you today, but I can almost guarantee I could do a whole channel just on the uses of baking soda. The second reason why I keep baking soda in my preps is because it's so inexpensive. When you take into consideration the amount of products that baking soda can actually replace, it's worth every penny. And it's just not that expensive to start with. Now, the third reason why I like to store baking soda in my preps is because it comes in so many different varieties. If you're going to be using it in a wet area, you can purchase them in these plastic containers. If you're just going to use it for regular general baking purposes, you of course can get them in the cardboard containers and these cardboard cylinder containers. And if you're like me and you like to have it in bulk, well, you can get it in these huge bulk size Ziploc bags. So it's very practical ways to store this depending on the uses. The third reason why I like to have baking soda in my preps is because it brings me back to the basics. Whenever I think of getting back to the basics, I think of all of our convenience items and how I can replace those with something more practical, less expensive, and in this case, it's all natural. Now, the final reason that I'm going to share with you today on why I feel it's important to have baking soda in my preps is because baking soda has an indefinite shelf life. Now, it may lose its potency after about 2 years, but you can still eat it and it won't make you sick. It's just going to lose its leavening ability. And while we're on that topic, a real quick tip is just to take a little bit, maybe a teaspoon, and then sprinkle a couple drops of white vinegar on it. And if it starts bubbling, then you know it's still going to be potent enough to do its job. Well, now that you know a few of the reasons why I feel it's important to have baking soda in your preps, let's go ahead and jump right into those 30 practical uses of baking soda. So as I get into these 30 practical uses, I'm also going to be sharing with you the 5 areas around the home that you may want to store baking soda. And we're going to start out in the kitchen. Now, in the kitchen, baking soda has so many different uses. When it comes to just cleaning, you can use baking soda to clean your sinks, whether they're stainless steel or porcelain. You're just going to make a quick paste, rub it around like you would Comet or Barkeeper's Friend, rinse it off, and your sink is going to be bright, clean, and shiny. In the same way that you scoured your sink, you can also use that on your pots and pans, or in your teapots or coffee pots that you use on the open flame. Baking soda can also be used to clean your floors, whether it's hardwood floors or tile floors. Another good use for baking soda in the kitchen is to shine that silver. So if you have some silver tea sets or any silverware that has begun to tarnish, just make you a paste, spread it onto your silver, wipe it off, and it's going to look good as new. The next use for baking soda is one that we all already know, and that is in your baking recipes. Not only is baking soda going to help whenever you're making your baked goods, but did you know that if you add just a little bit to your scrambled egg mix, you're going to have fluffier omelets and fluffier scrambled eggs? And let's not forget, baking soda is also good to eliminate odors. Just go ahead and either sprinkle it down the drain or set that cardboard box in the back of the refrigerator, and it's going to help eliminate those odors. Also, in the trash can, you can sprinkle a little in the bottom of the can before you put the bag in, and you can even sprinkle a little bit down in the bag to help eliminate odors that may accumulate over time. And now the final tip to be used in the kitchen is if you love your coffee but it doesn't love you, just add a little bit of baking soda to your cup of coffee and it's going to help neutralize the acids in your coffee and make it much smoother on your stomach. Now let's move on to the next area of the home, and that's going to be in the laundry room. There's only one step to accomplish these next three purposes in the laundry room, and that is if you add about a half a cup of baking soda to your laundry, it's going to brighten your whites, it's going to act as a natural fabric softener, and it's going to eliminate any deep odors that have built up in your fabrics. Another use in the laundry room is to clean your iron. Just make a paste on the bottom of that iron and it's going to strip off any kind of buildup that you may have happening there. Now let's move on to the next area, and that's going to be your first aid or your medicine cabinet. Baking soda has a lot of medicinal purposes. If you add about a teaspoon to 4 or 6 ounces of water and you chug that down, it's going to replace all of your antacids that you're used to taking. It will help with heartburn and indigestion. If you have a splinter that you just can't seem to get out, make a water and baking soda paste on top of the splinter, add a Band-Aid, go to bed. When you wake up the next day, as you remove that Band-Aid, your splinter is going to come right on out. If you spent too much time out in the sun, baking soda is great at soothing sunburns. You can make a little paste and put it on your problem areas, or you can add about a half a cup to a cup to your bathtub and soak in it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Another topical first aid use for baking soda is to help with bug bite. In the same way that you treated that sunburn, you're going to make a little paste, put it on top of that bug bite, and it's going to help with the itch that you may be feeling. If you're on a camping trip and you forgot your bug spray but you happen to have your baking soda with you, just mix a little bit in a spray bottle with some water and you can spray that on you and it helps to eliminate the bugs. Okay, now we're going to move into the bathroom, and this is where we're going to talk about our beauty and hygiene needs. Okay, the first area that we're going to talk about here in the restroom is going to be your oral hygiene. Baking soda is great for your teeth. It helps whiten them and clean them, and you can do that 2 different ways. You can make a paste and apply it to your teeth and let it set for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, or you can add a little bit to your regular toothpaste and do that each time that you brush, and it's going to have the same effect. If you have issues with canker sores or any tenderness inside of your mouth, you can make an oral rinse by adding a little bit to some water, swish it around your mouth like you would any other kind of mouthwash, and that's also going to help with bad breath. Now let's talk about another hygiene item, and that's going to be as a natural deodorant. Just sprinkle a little baking soda in your hands, rub it straight onto your arms, and that's going to help keep those odors down if you're unable to get to your regular deodorant. Now let's talk about hair. Baking soda is great for the scalp. If you just want to sprinkle some on your head and rub it in, that's going to help you if you have dry skin or even dandruff. Or you can add it to your shampoo or conditioner, and this is going to help strip any hairspray buildup or any built up dirt and oils that you may have in your hair. Also, if you've gotten in a pool and your hair turned green, this is going to help eliminate that green. Now let's talk about skin. If you have a facial cleanser that you like to use, you can sprinkle a little bit of baking soda in with that and put it onto your skin, and it works as an exfoliant to remove any dead skin and dead cells that have built up, and it's going to leave your face very smooth and soft. And along those same lines, if you have an issue with acne, it's going to exfoliate it, but it's also going to pull all of the impurities, dirt, and oil that may be clogged in your pores and help with your acne issues. Now let's move on to the final area that I like to keep baking soda around my home, and that's going to be in the garden. Now in the garden, baking soda has many uses, but one of the first ones that I'm going to tell you about is to use it as a Miracle-Gro replacement. You can use baking soda and water, and it's going to help stimulate blooms in your flowers. And when it comes to your tomatoes and strawberries and any other acidic vegetable or berry, it's going to help neutralize that acid and make them naturally sweeter. Another use is as a weed killer. Just directly apply some baking soda, and then over the next couple of days, those weeds aren't going to be a problem anymore. Okay, so there are 30 uses for baking soda and 5 areas around the home that I like to store it. So if you learned any new uses today, or you found any kind of value in today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up or just telling me in the comments section. I want to remind you before I leave to be sure and check the description box for that link to the free printable with the list of everything that we discussed today, along with a few of those recipes. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you'll take a few seconds to do so now. Well, thanks again. I look so forward to seeing you in my next video. And until then, be strong, be safe, and be prepared. Thank you. Bye.